It is draft day 2021, and look who we have. It is Caleb Farley. Caleb, as always, it's great to be with you. I know you're not in the exact spot that you had hoped to be today and tonight, but just another minor setback for what we ultimately know is going to be an awesome future for you. Your thoughts, just as you sit there on draft day and the fact that it is finally here.
I'm extremely excited that draft day is finally here. It's been a long process, and I'm just eager to move forward. You know, this past year has been so crazy for me, and feels like everything that could go bad, went bad. But I really think, I'm still here. I'm blessed. You know, my mindset hasn't changed. You know, I'm still grateful for this opportunity. So, me personally, I feel like I was in some spiritual like warfare type of, I'm getting tested. That's how I try to view it. And, that's how I make it make sense. And I just accept it and control what I can control and trust in God.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And those of us that have been blessed to get to know you and have personal conversations at times with you know exactly what you're talking about with what could go bad, could go bad. And that goes back a few years. But I think we've all, particularly throughout Hokie Nation, marveled at how you've handled that adversity and just kept stepping forward. What's your message to people about who Caleb Farley is when, in the news cycle, this happened or that happened or this happened or whatever, about who you are as a player and a person as you approach this milestone in your life?
Yeah, I'm in love with the game of football. You know, I dedicated my life to football at a very young age and was very serious about it. You know, I'm a man of faith. You know, that's, to be honest with you, if it wasn't for my faith and my parents, my father and my mother, I wouldn't have the same type of mindset and outlook on life that I have now. That's been everything. So, that's who I am, and that's all I can stay true to.
I was actually with you. We were filming some preseason stuff. Your dad was in Blacksburg the day before you decided to opt out. And the reason, and I immediately knew, your dad clearly is such a big part of your life. Your mom was too. What's it been like for him going through this process, preparing for this moment? And also, as another person here that's lost a parent, when you have those accomplishments, your mom's going to be smiling down wherever you may go.
The most unfortunate part about the situation, because I got my father excited, and my uncles excited, people that believed in me since I was a young boy. Just the part of the nine group that I had coming with me, coaches and just different things that it just was such a painted good time. Like my closest loved ones just coming to the bill, never to go to the green room. That's kind of like the most unfortunate thing, just not being able to almost finish it and just have that moment, just to have that moment for them. Because I had an uncle, my uncle Shannon was just, I know he was dying to go to the draft. Go to a draft, even if he was an attendee, like a fan that would go, it just, so that sucks. But he's had a ball. We've grown closer. We've both been put in uncomfortable situations. We've grown together, and I'm just excited to get on the field. Like, man, that's another conversation. I'm gonna enjoy it. It's a dream come true at nonetheless. So I'm just excited.
Caleb, it was a few weeks ago. You came back to Blacksburg for a pro day. Obviously, you weren't able to physically go through it, but had a lot of conversations with folks. I accidentally or coincidentally stumbled into the weight room the day before when you got back and you were reuniting with Shu and Ben and the strength staff and Coach Fuente and your teammates. How has your training been like, and how special was that to be back in Blacksburg for that big portion of this process?
Extremely special. I was talking to Coach Crosby, earlier today, actually, just letting him know how grateful I was to have such a great strength staff. I learned about hard work and grit and, just responsibilities of being a man and things like that. Real macho, manly man stuff, and that's what they taught you. That's the example they set. They showed up to work early every day with the same type of drive and mindset of, taking care of their families. And that's something that I took from them. I respect every single, strength coach I've ever had. And, that's truly one of my, brighter and, like better moments at Tech is, the strength staff.
I also, though, remember you've always been very public in your support of Justin Fuente, and you sent a tweet expressing that, I believe, after the opt-out portion of last season, just saying how much you appreciated his participation in that process. How much has Coach Fuente meant to you as a man, as a football player, and again, as you get ready for this next step tonight?
Yeah, Coach Fuente gave me my platform and my opportunity, by first giving me a scholarship and believing in me. So that's something special of any athlete's heart at the beginning. And then, just being there and always making sure that I was straight and encouraging me. Anytime I got injured, it was one of the first faces I seen. Or, anytime that I needed somebody to talk to, I knew I could go upstairs, and get an answer, a direct answer. So, and then like I said, when I opted out, him just telling me that, he's going to follow my career and he'll always be a fan of mine. That's huge. That type of support from a head coach is huge, and it means a lot to me.
Now let's go back. When you were coming out of high school, you were a prolific quarterback, one of the best in the country. In fact, the Virginia Tech staff tells you, we think your future's at corner. You had a detour wide receiver lit up the spring game. I vividly remember that afternoon. What were you thinking? How much faith did you need to have in them? And now as you look back on that, as it ultimately works out?
Man, at first I didn't like it. I didn't like it at all because, I never heard corner talk until, I was on campus, forego my basketball season, senior year, my track season. So, I was thinking I was coming to be an offensive weapon, and things like that. Looking back on it now, I see how things worked out, even with the knee injury because, I was playing receiver that year. And I feel like if I would have played receiver that year, I would have never played corner. So, I'm just thankful. Coach Fuente used to always tell me to trust him. Like, man, I think corner is your position. Just trust me, learn it. And that's what I did. I trusted him, and I worked hard at it, and I'm glad he had the eye. He could see that I should play corner.
I was standing on the sideline that practice when you hurt your knee, and I remember the route you were running, and it is amazing to see the steps that you've taken in this journey here to tonight. Another guy I know you've gotten a lot of advice from through the years, and certainly of late, is Justin Hamilton, now the defensive coordinator, but he's been a big part of that staff even before that. As a guy that was drafted as a defensive player in the secondary himself, what have you taken away from interactions with J-Ham, and what have you seen as he now leads the defense, a lot of your former teammates and certainly your best friends?
Yeah, immediately, it was easy to relate to Coach Ham just because, he played in our shoes. He was a Tech athlete, a football player, went to the NFL. He accomplished what everybody wants to do. And just being able to take his advice and wisdom and hear some of the stories that he got to tell us, even funny stories back from when he was in school, it was always easy to relate to him. And, he could get guys motivated and involved and, ready to go. So that's some of the things I took from him, just Virginia Tech tradition and just, life, talking about life with Coach Ham. It was very relatable.
Well, Caleb, I know you've got a busy night because you got to plan out the catering for this moment and to make sure that your uncle and your dad and everybody's in the right spot. So I'll leave you on this one. The Hokies, and I know even though you didn't play last year, you were so following the team and cheering on your guys, and you'll always be a Hokie. Just a message for Hokie Nation, if you have one, as you take the next step and how proud they are of you.
Man, I'm a Hokie for life. Anybody a part of Hokie Nation that supports me, I support you. Got love for me, I got love for you. I love that school, and can't nobody keep me away from that school.
Caleb, we're so proud of you, man. Can't wait for the moment to come, and can't wait to see which helmet you're putting on. I'm personally hoping it's the Vikings, just because I'm a lifelong Viking fan. But as you sit there in the sunshine.
Yeah, I have no idea. It'll be a surprise.
It's awesome, man. We're so proud of you. Enjoy the night. We wish it was the green room, but the Hokie Nation will be behind you when you get that news and for your professional career, my man. Be well.
Thank you so much. Appreciate you.
Caleb Farley, hoping for a big night tonight as the NFL draft opens, and as you just heard, always a Hokie. Caleb Farley getting set for NFL Draft 2021. We continue to follow that for you here throughout Hokie Nation.